Take me home, I wanna know if you're down, ready to go. Wanna fly away with you, float away, fly away.
Metronome was quick, I love it.
Yeah, a little bit slower than a drill beat.
Yeah, it is actually.
Mm-hmm. It's weird when you find out about like BPMs and shit, right?
Yeah, just all the little shit behind like all the beats and everything you hear in general.
Yeah, like,
shit.
Dude, it's fucking strange how drill came around.
How'd it come around?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was just here,
But
wasn't it?
Was just like, boom, there's drill.
Because I first heard it and I was like, oh, this is like grime stuff. And they were like, this is not grime. I was like, oh, shit.
That's really the changeover, right?
Yeah.
It was like grime and then drill fucking hit.
Hell yeah. And I was on the Chicago drill, but I didn't really register it as drill to me. To me, it was all just still gangster rap.
Yeah, okay. Chicago drill. That was weird, right?
That was nuts. That was the shit, bro. We had like Chief Keef in that. Oh my days.
But what do you think about the Australian drill that's coming out?
It's sometimes it's a bit derivative, but it's still dope just to see people like get into it. Like it's derivative of like UK drill, and a lot of it is just like sometimes I feel like it's taking what they're doing and doing the same thing.
Yeah. And
it's only just around now where you really see it becoming its own thing. Where like, oh, this is way separate to the UK thing now.
Yeah.
But at the start, I really felt like, oh, this is like the UK drill, but we're doing it, with our accent, whatnot.
It's with our accent, but I think there's also that many artists doing it down under.
Yeah, down under.
That are actually propagating different sounds within the genre as well.
Yeah.
Which is good because people are exploring like melodies.
Yeah. I mean, we did that pretty quick. We got straight into the melodies.
Yeah, I think because the singers wanted to join in the hype.
Those singers don't play around, bro.
Nah, bro.
They see the scene popping like, oh, we need that.
Yeah, no shit. And there's just some people that like fucking took over in that game.
Yeah. Trying to think of people. I don't really know.
Do you know guys from the East Coast that have popped off? Like
the Leroys and like Young and Lips?
No, in the drill scene, like with the drill singing scene, like Young and Lips, you've got Day One. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of them over
These
there,
are all
bro.
like super familiar names. Like I pretty much heard all these guys. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they've done some fucking wild stuff on the East Coast. But it does shine light on how fucking crazy and different we've become over here.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Don't you reckon?
100%. I mean, there's no way. They're not in. Let me start that again. They're no way comparable. The UK and that was like saying now, and that's just us. Building a scene, evolving it. Shout out to the East. When I say us, I mean the country as a whole.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like we're doing something different though in WA as opposed to the East Coast, right?
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on it, but it feels.
You know what I thought it was?
What?
Well, Rack said this on the podcast recently, and he said that nobody's popped off yet, so we haven't got our trend. But it's almost like saying our patch of dirt has an audio attachment to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope. Yeah.
It's like we're waiting for a sound to come out of this place.
So we could help. Is that a bad thing if we're waiting for a sound to latch onto it?
I think it is as like the whole industry, but like we've got like crazy amounts of diversification in Perth, which is
I love that. It's so good.
And it's also hard to target a single genre at a show because you get like 5 artists on stage and they all sound completely fucking different.
I legit just ran into that problem. We're planning a show and we have a specific sound we want, and we're like, okay, let's hone in on this sound. Let's grab everyone that's like really doing this, and we're like, fuck, everyone's so like broad. Like it's hard to just say, yeah, we're all doing this one sound. It's hard. Like we ran into a full problem with it.
You kind of want to work with artists that have explored different genres then at that same time.
Yeah. If they've got the experience and the skill to, they could do one thing if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
They could sit on one thing, like talented motherfuckers.
Yeah,
like,
crazy motherfuckers, bro.
Dude, like yourself.
Oh, you better stop.
Bro. I listened to your shit on replay today.
I appreciate you, yeah.
It's good, man.
Thank you, bro.
How'd you come across that fucking style of yours?
I don't know. The thing is I can't identify the style because I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
So it's really weird from my point of view. I'm kind of just hearing beats and then whatever comes into my head, I'll just do that. And I spend a lot of time writing though. So I think if anything, I think it's the amount of time I spend writing.
Yeah.
And penning down everything. Like, I'm not a freestyler. I barely freestyle or anything.
What's your method for writing? How do you go about writing something? Do you put a melody on a track first, or do you do lyrics?
I've never written over my own beats.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can make beats,
Yeah.
like pretty decent ones, but there's a block when it comes to writing on it. I'm not too sure what it is.
Do you get like a rhythm in the booth though? Do you go like over the top of the beat, like da 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 da, or like?
Yeah, I can, find a rhythm and stuff.
Yeah.
But there is some sort of disconnect. I've talked to so many people about it, not like therapists and stuff, just the boys. And I'm like, nah, like, why don't you rap over your own stuff? I was like, I can't do it, bro. Now I can give beats to people, and they're like, this is sick.
Yeah.
But usually my process is just, I'll get given a beat from some of the guys, whether it's Saudi, Alec, Merlin, and I would just listen to it over and over and over, come up with maybe 3 different ideas, and then I'll sort of just vomit on a piece of paper and just keep going, see what comes out.
Yeah.
All these ideas put together, and at the end, it should be one cohesive thought piece, sort of thing.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Sometimes it makes it hard to like name a track one thing, because it's got these different thoughts coming from these different areas.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to like pick a topic for one track.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've been dealing with just a bit lately.
Are you sticking to like one genre at the moment with your recordings? Or are you like branching out into different shit?
I'd say I'm still kind of definitely branching, but I'm trying to hone in on sounds more for different projects and singles. So my next project, Long Live the Way We Live, is a dark trap kind of pastime kind of vibe. Like,
Long Live the Way We Live.
Long Live the Way We Live.
Okay, let's fucking break that down for a second.
Down, bro. Oh yeah.
What the fuck does that mean to you? Like,
to me, and how I came up with it, I was just thinking back to when I started getting into music and writing and stuff, maybe 2017, and it's just been such a blur since then. I feel like that's for everyone. I mean, you think back to 2017, it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, right. Like we didn't fucking actually experience those years.
Yeah, legit. And 2017 was such a pivot in my life, where I really changed the direction of what I was going to do. And I wanted to make like a soundtrack to those 5 years, to all the bullshit, the good stuff, the fucking headaches, the heartaches, as corny as it sounds, and just put it all into one project. And like, this is the soundtrack to the last 5 years. So long live to it.
That's cool.
That's what it is.
That's a very mature way to handle it, right? Like, is to like grasp it in almost like a contract with audio. Yeah. And you're taking that 5 years of your life and like embedding it into forever, as long as Spotify hangs around.
Yeah, as long as it hangs around. And I'll still have it personally.
Exactly.
In my own files. But for me, it was therapeutic. Just the name itself and the concept was therapeutic. Music aside.
Yes.
Also, like, I understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
Right. So how did you get to the darkness of it?
So since 2017, I was recording at studios. So Shakedown Studios and Vision Studios.
Shout out.
They're best, bro. They're some crazy dudes. And I finally invested into a home studio.
Nice.
So for the first time, I had the time and space and the comfortability to experiment. Because with studios, as good as they were, I'd always go with a finished product. I'd do my thought piece writing. The song was done. It wasn't even real yet, but it was done. I'd go there and I'm paying for the hour. So every second I'm paying for, I'm like, let's get this done. Next thing. So I never had time to experiment. But now I'm at home, and the process is flipped. So now I'm starting with nothing and then it feels like I'm going backwards.
Right.
In a sense, yeah, because I got nothing, there's nothing yet. And then I'll start, finding a beat or making an idea, and then I'll do it all in one. So that kind of...
So what is it triggering that lack of feeling there? Like that you feel you're going backwards?
It's... I'm really creating in the moment.
Right.
Like it's made it all one process. For me, you find an idea, you write, then you record. And the writing and recording may happen a week, a month apart. But now it's happening all in the span of 2 hours maybe. And just doing that, it really when I started experimenting with like singing and different like melodies and different vibes, this dark trap vibe just kept coming back and back, and I was getting, you know, it was a sound I was really fucking with. So I was like, you know what, it's got to be this.
Shit, that's cool.
And that's how it all came about. And then everything, you know, things just kind of aligned. Like, oh, that's gonna make it way better and this and that. So a lot of that was going on. It wasn't even an album at first. It was a mixtape.
Damn.
And it just like turned into something else. Like, no, I've got to make this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I had to push another album back. I was like, hey, we're going to push
For
that
real?
one back. Yeah, for real, yeah.
You had to put your time and effort into this one thing to make it everything, right?
So much, yeah, man. I flew away for work just to like get money proper in order because I really want to push this. Like, it's the first full body of work that I've put out by myself in 5 years.
Wow.
It's almost like, what did I call it the other day? It's the invisible goal that I didn't know I was working towards. Like this whole
That's
time.
how it feels, right?
Yeah, it's like, because I knew I wanted to make an album, but there was no concept, no name, no sound. And then now it's all here. And it's like, you're the motherfucker I was looking for.
Yeah, that kind of gives inspiration to like I used to write my goals down all the time, right? And when you write your goals down all the time, it kind of allows you to think of what else you want because you're like, I'm already going after these things.
Yeah.
Right. And then new goals arrive. It's because you've actually been thinking about this thing in the back reaches of your mind. You've been in a studio all the time.
Yep.
And that's constantly around a guy that knows exactly what he's doing. And you're like, damn, I need to do this shit too.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned as well. I learned at Level Studio with Sheldon.
Oh, apparently he's a wizard. I recorded with him once.
Best in Perth.
Apparently he's nuts. Like
the way he mixes audio now, he's done the best, like some of the best tracks. And
Yeah.
he's recorded with like John Charles.
Yeah.
he's
I
done
see it all on Instagram, and you know,
Man, him and like the rest of the boys, like 506 and stuff that are coming out there, they're doing some fantastic
they're
work,
crazy.
man.
Like proper top of the industry level stuff.
Top
like,
of the industry.
Literally, yeah. It's crazy.
Oh, fuck. Cheers, Jack Daniels, by the way.
Shout out Woodies. Not even a dude, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. So with your music that you've put out so far, how many tracks have you got in total out?
Out?
Yeah.
I think all up, out that you could just find right now. I wouldn't say there's more than 25. Should be about 20, 25.
I think I heard 12 on my run today.
Right.
But like there was a few that I just had to play again and again. And
Oh, okay.
again.
Do you know which ones?
Hit the button and it replays it.
Oh,
again.
okay. Yeah. Would you say it was more like the full-on rap stuff or the more vibey stuff?
Oh no, rap stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the rap stuff. Yeah.
Damn. Son.
That's what, I mean, that's my bread and butter. I feel like when you think of me, that's what everyone's...
When I first saw you live, I was like, holy shit. Because it was at Convenience.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You played a Convenience show.
Convenience is so nice. Feels like home, bro. I love that place.
That's a fucking cool little venue.
It's
How you
sick,
walk in
bro.
through the deli.
through
kind
the
of-
fridge. First time I was there, like, I got there and it's like, you know, the store clerk.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
like, yeah, tickets. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm on the door list. She was like, oh, yeah, ticks me off. I was like,
Where from here?
Where's the club? You know? You'd like look at that fridge extra hard, like, that's a picture of a Red Bull.
Yeah.
That's not real.
And you know your Red Bulls. You walked in.
Yeah,
before.
I walked in that sugar-free one, bro.
Oh, yeah. They fucking get you going, dude.
They're the best ones, easily.
Anyway, Convenience, the show that was had that night, I can't remember who was headlining because I was there for the open mic that was after the show.
Okay, yeah.
And Hammer jumped on then.
Oh, okay.
And like, he was okay, but like we hadn't done any rehearsals or practices or anything. So
Yeah,
it was just like...
it's an open mic.
Yeah, it's an open mic, right? But it was halfway through the show and you came on with another dude. I think he was a long blonde haired dude.
Oh, 17.
17.
Yeah, 17.
And you guys did a song together.
Yep.
And I was like, God damn.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck is this?
Being 17, bro, that whole era, we did 30 shows 2021.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 30. I think it's like more. It's like 32 or 31. But literally every weekend, it felt like we were just like, all right, where's the next show? And we had Lucian Black, who was just setting it all up, you know, running shows, getting us invited to shows, open mics, where were they at?
Damn, dude.
And I think that's why I'm you know, what I am now on stage.
Yeah. Well, when did you start jumping on stage?
My first time on stage was February 29th, 18.
God damn, only 4 years?
Yeah, and it was Lavelle. Lavelle got me on. He got me a
Wow.
spot on the show. Yeah.
That's wild. What's the biggest show that you've done so far?
Biggest show. I think when I opened for Enter was probably the biggest one. When Enter came down from over east, I was at Bar 1.
Damn.
Filled the place out. Also, there was a hell big wraparound show. It was, I think, the second one, and I don't know, it just really got packed out. That was at Bar 1 as well.
Is that the one that is it OMAC? Is that what he does?
No, it's Sammy B Films. Oh, it was Vluden and Sammy B Films, but I don't think they do it anymore.
Oh, okay.
They might have different showrunners. I'm not too sure.
Okay, right. There's some good fucking events that get put on in Perth, man.
Man, it's sick.
It's
and
wild.
they're getting better quickly. They're getting better so quick, yeah.
Yeah, the amount of use that we had out of Metro City prior to COVID was like 1/10 of what's happening there now.
Yeah,
man.
honestly.
Bootylicious runs out of there.
I've never been. I need to go.
Damn, bro.
I see the photos that... Oh, I'm like, holy shit, this is the place to be.
Well, they hosted Roddy Rich. You know that, right?
Yeah, I was down at the
Roddy fucking Rich, bro.
Roddy Rich and DJ Waves. DJ.
Oh, Waves is amazing.
Oh, me and Waves went to high school, bro. That's my guy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we went to high school together.
I met him at library.
Oh,
and
yep.
There was like maybe 5 people on the dance floor.
Right.
And then he jumped on and everyone swarmed. Like,
Hell yeah.
I was like, damn, dude, he's good.
DJ Waves is the culture, bro. I was telling one of my boys, he's the one.
He's stepping up, bro.
Honestly, bro, he's the guy.
There's a lot of good DJs in Perth that I think that have done immense amount of change, and that's why I want to prop them up as well. Like, all artists, like anyone that characterizes some sort of icon figure that's actually wanting change for the better in the Perth music industry.
Yep,
that's who I want to propagate and show to everyone. Because what it does is it pushes other artists to say, hey, I could be a part of this.
Yep.
Right?
That's how I feel. When I see things that I think are great, I'm like, how do I get down with this? Because it's obviously going to go somewhere great, especially if you get some good people behind it.
Yeah. And it brings people up from not knowing shit about music to fucking actually working in the music industry.
Yep.
Yeah. And the way that I see it is the more that you hone your craft, the more appealing it's going to be to the audience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was the mantra when we were doing like the 31 shows in 2021 was like, we need to get this, the same way when we were recording all day, every day to get good at it. Yeah. We need to do the same thing with performing.
And carry that mindset.
Everything. Because it's like performing on the job. Practicing on the job when you're performing. It's like, it's the only way you're going to get better at it is doing it.
That's a good point.
So you just got to do it.
That's literally the same thing as what comedians go through.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same shit. They have to be in front of an audience to know how to handle an audience.
Yeah, 100%.
It's the same thing with...
They get like shows catered just for that. Like, we got the Gong Show here. And that's where comedians go just to sharpen their tools and stuff.
That's a comedy lounge, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yep.
You've got the Gong Show. We've got a couple of open mics that are going around, and there's fucking so many comedians here.
Yeah, bro, you'd have no idea until you look. It's nuts.
Wild. Like Emo Majok.
Emo Majok's funny.
He's fucking hilarious. Cameron McLaren, hilarious.
Yeah, Alex Flay. I'm probably butchering that name, but Alex, Alex, the onesie.
Yes.
On stage, yeah.
King. We'll cut it as soon as I as soon as I remember it, edit it.
Seamlessly.
That's not good. God damn.
It happens, bro.
Okay, start again from now. That's like Ali G shit,
I'm listening back to it, I'm like, did he do it? Did he do it?
I'll probably just leave this shit in, to be honest.
Fuck it, why not?
No, it's Chief Cossa. He's fucking amazing.
Ooh, don't know if I heard of him.
Oh, I had him on the podcast already, bro.
Oh, okay.
Fucking so funny, dude.
Oh, say less. I have to get down and watch it, man.
I fucking... After the podcast, he was going out.
Let's go.
And I was getting high on the podcast, as I do, right? And he went out, and I was like, dude, you want a little something, something? And he's like, Oh yeah. So I packed in one of those like hemp cone fucking joint.
Oh,
things.
okay, yeah, got you.
Packed in one of them like chockers.
You
right?
rocked.
Yeah, and I gave it to him and I was like, let me know how you go.
He sent you back a video in the morning in the desert, one shoe. Like,
He's in Karratha. Oh shit! But no, he messaged me like a week later, and he was like, "Bro, that shit fucked me up."
Did he acknowledge it's been a week?
I didn't even bring it up. I was like,
so good.
He lost time for fucking 168 hours. No, he's a fucking legend though. That guy fucking made me laugh so much. But I don't know if I had a point before this. I'm kind of high. But the two things, like, I might edit out that high thing. I might just put like a boop over the top.
Yeah. They don't know what you are.
Yeah,
They're going to say, think it's drunk.
I'm kind of drunk. I didn't mean to do that, but it worked.
He's fucking up the mics.
So the only two art forms that really do need an audience to like practice with, like you were saying before, is anything that uses your mouth audibly. Like, I'm sure if like whores were on stage using their mouths, you know what I'm saying? They'd need an audience to gauge it.
Okay, yeah.
But no, like singers and comedians are that thing, right? They need to, like, nobody knows what kind of like stage presence they have when they first get on stage. Like my boy Hammer, right?
Yep.
His first show that he headlined was the one that you were at.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Right.
That was pretty good for a first. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because I would not have guessed that was the first time.
He's only ever done 2 open mics other than that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
And that being his first show was really good lyrically, but he had his eyes closed most of the time.
Okay. Yep.
And I was like, okay, well, he just needs more time on stage, because once he gets more comfortable with the music, he's going to get more comfortable with opening his eyes. He did have it, like, there's multiple videos with his eyes are open, but like when you go into a rough, like hard part of the song, he just like draws into his head because he needs to focus. Yeah, and he probably knows his shit like the back of his hand. What it is, it's like it's the fear of failing. Dude, you know what you heard in there?
Yeah, skits.
One takes.
Oh no shit! I like my one take kings.
Yeah,
one take kings out here. Man.
He doesn't do it like that whole song. No interviews. That I'm not gonna rap it. I was gonna rap it. He did that whole song in one take, bro.
That's
one
dope.
fucking take. And it's kind of like...
We're a dying breed, bro. The one takes.
Oh, dude, right? Dying. How many have you done that are one take?
Ooh, most of my verses are one take.
Yeah.
Pretty much
done whole songs one take, yeah?
Oh, yeah. If a song has freestyle on it, so if I upload a song as something freestyle, then that's a one take.
And you're freestyling?
Yeah, but like freestyling that means that it's like it's a beat that I've only just found 2 minutes ago, and I'm like thinking of like old writtens and just putting shit together. Not off the dome. I don't do off the dome.
That's still kind of like freestyling though, right?
Yeah, I mean it's freestyling in a sense.
What's the difference between having individual words come out of your mouth at a rate that your brain's generating? What's the difference between that and having a bunch of verses, like heaps of verses in your head that you've already got? Like the only thing is you've grouped them together, right?
More or less, yeah.
You've grouped those words together, so now you just...
Yeah, well, you know how I was telling you about my idea-based writing?
Yeah.
Now, if I freestyle and I think of an idea, well, boom, that's connected to 4 or 5 lines I've already thought in that idea realm.
Yes.
So it's like if I'm rapping and I'm thinking about, if I like comes in my head cash, I've got like 4 branches that lead off from cash that I know I've workshopped that idea before. So that's kind of how it works for me when I do freestyle.
So almost like your brain's an encyclopedia, or a dictionary, but you've already got the rhyme.
I've already got a glossary type shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, glossary. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what to call it, but because without
an
it,
index
and
almost,
I had to work to that as well. Because when I first started, and I was like, I mean, if you want to learn how to rap, you got 2 things: you can start writing a lot, or you can start freestyling a lot. And I went the writing a lot route. So when it came time, with the boys like, all right, let's freestyle. I'm like, oh. I ain't really done this before, but let me try. Let me try. And I was like, oh no, I'm dog shit at this. So I had to work at that now.
God damn.
So that's kind of how I got that
Oh shit.
process.
That's wild.
Bro, there's a thought behind everything, no lie.
Yeah. Well, there's got to be, right? And I find with the verses that you get done, like there was a couple of lines in your songs that I was like, you can interpret this as two different things.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, like you could be feeling a certain way, like happy, and like your lyrics will hit, and on the same song, you could be sad the next day, and it'll still hit.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's one thing I try to think about, like how someone going to take this in, depending on who, like where they at in life.
Right.
Even with the "Long Live the Way We Live" title, it's got almost like a dense weight to it, but it's just some happy shit. It's like "Long live to the way we live," but when you hear it, it's like, fuck, that's heavy. So depending on
Did you have that intention while making it?
"Long Live the Way We Live"?
Yeah.
I've workshopped that name for ages. I first said it in a track because I said it in a track first with 17. That was back in 2018, and it's just something that when I wrote, I was like, oh, fire. Then I just always thought about it, and I was like, what do I even mean when I said that? So I've just put so much thought into it, and it upgraded from a lyric to a mixtape name to an album name.
God damn.
Yeah.
And
the song's called "Time Machine" as well. You can find it in there.
It's already. Oh
yeah, it's out. Yeah, it's on 17 Spotify.
Oh, hectic.
Yeah, for sure.
I love when artists do that. Actually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't try to do it intentionally, but it happens.
Drake's done it with a couple, right?
Yeah. Which ones? He might have.
I'm pretty sure. I could be slightly retarded.
Yeah. I mean, "Nothing Was the Same" was a title that I looked at in like comparison to mine as well. Because for some reason I got the same kind of heaviness vibe from it.
Yeah.
And because my main thought was like, this is way too long of a title. "Long Live the Way We Live." It's like, how that work?
I could be wrong about the Drake thing. I'm pretty fucked up right now.
Yeah, it is. I'm sure it's definitely been done before, probably numerous times, man.
Yeah.
It's the thing with music.
Well, it's the progression of artists, right? Mm-hmm. People look up to their idols, and then they hear something in their song that sparks a thought that leads down a fucking musical journey.
Yeah.
100%. Who'd you grow up listening to?
Growing up,
listening. By the way, I said listening.
Oh yeah, listening eye. Oh, that's what you meant. Well, in that case. Nah, my earliest memories of like just listening to music. My mom listened to a lot of Destiny's Child and a lot of Beyonce.
For real?
Yeah, so like long car rides to like city and back.
Hectic.
It's a lot of Bugaboo. Me personally, when I started to go and find my own music, 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, the amount of hours I've probably listened to those two dudes is it's incalculable. It's nuts. And then growing up, you know, in my teen years, I listened to a lot of J. Cole and a lot of just any rapper, any lyrical bass rapper is all I listened to for a while. It was like something fun to do at home. Find someone and listen to the way they put words together. So those three, Drake, I listened to a lot of Drake. Yeah, Lil Wayne, J. Cole, Drake, 50 Cent are like the four dudes I say I listen to that have subconsciously influenced the way that I do my music.
The Get Rich or Die Trying album?
Yeah, his second best album. So good.
What's the first?
The Massacre.
Oh, okay. Right.
They're going to be mad at that one, bro.
God damn.
I stand on it, bro. The Massacre is my favorite 50
You like
Cent
that
album.
one?
It's so good. I was playing it like yesterday.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
It's fucking different.
It is.
Like what? That didn't really encapsulate any of the sounds that were happening at that time. It was
it didn't.
different.
And Dr. Dre, I don't know what he was doing, but he was out of his damn noggin. Some of those beats, bro.
Oh,
and
bro.
yeah, the quality of production on it.
He's the fucking goat, bro.
He is the goat. He is the goat.
It's wild. And
him and Wayne. And Wayne.
Lyrically, Wayne. Fuck
yeah. Lyrically.
Does Wayne make beats?
Weezy F Baby, and the F stands for phenomenal.
What song is that?
I don't know what song it is, but it's just one of the best lines.
Yeah, and you know he freestyled that.
Yeah, I mean he's notorious for that shit. That's nuts. It's nuts.
How do you fucking freestyle shit like that?
Somebody who knows, so I don't.
He's been on interviews where he's talked about not knowing that he said, like, they'll read his lyrics out to him.
Yeah, didn't they read like the latex bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh, I said that.
Did I say that shit?"
I was like, "What do you mean, bro?" Because if he's freestyling, that must have been just off the top.
How fucking shit would it be if it came out that he wasn't freestyling and somebody else wrote it? And
That somebody else wrote it? Yeah. Holy shit.
Dude, I've had that thought so many.
Nah, bro.
I know I love Lil Wayne, don't get me wrong. I love you. But I've thought sometimes, you know how like Dr. Dre, his in The Chronic, the song with him and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, the Snoop wrote for him? Or
no, Jay-Z wrote it.
Oh, Jay-Z wrote for him? Yeah, yep.
Yeah, and it's like, even I saw a clip and it was on the Kyle and Jackie O's Instagram, right? They're a fucking...
I know Kylie and Jackie O, come on.
Yeah, on the East Coast. They had a DJ come in and slow down the lyrics for Nicki Minaj, and it sounds like Jay-Z pitched up.
So you're telling me that Nicki Minaj is Jay-Z?
It could be, bro. Well,
I've never seen them in the same room together. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Whenever Jay-Z walks in, Nicki seems to walk out. Come on.
Oh, shit.
Nah, I'm onto them now.
But, like, he's that good, bro.
Jay-Z is...
He can rap as somebody else.
Yeah,
he goes.
Probably, yeah,
that's how he wrote the Dre rap. He freestyled because he freestyles everything and then writes it down, right?
Yep.
He freestyled as Dre in The Chronic, and then Dre used that exact verse.
Damn.
And it all rhymes.
Nuts. I don't know how it'd feel if someone was able to freestyle as me, probably better than I could.
In the style that you write raps.
Yeah, it's like, you need to slow down, bro. You need to calm down. This is my space, right? Yeah. This is what I do.
Have you seen the movie Glass with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yes, I have.
Right? There's a genius who kind of like knows everything about everything. Right? He goes so deep in his like research. What if Jay-Z is like Samuel L. Jackson?
The Samuel L. Jackson of rap.
Of rap.
Isn't he already, if you think about it?
Well, they're probably the same age.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, who knows?
I was thinking about that. Like, there's been a lot of artists that come out with these songs that sound so fucking wild in the way of raps. Mm-hmm. But how many songs is Jay-Z putting out a year?
He's barely putting out verses at this point. I mean, a verse, it's changing the landscape.
And there's all these fucking rappers coming out, bro. What do you think's going on?
Hey,
if you wanted to stay out of the limelight for, like, I wrote this song, wouldn't, after your career in rap...
You just ghostwrite for everybody?
And then you get pitched up to do Nicki Minaj's voice.
Oh, shit.
Right? You want to stay out... He's a billionaire. He doesn't want that kind of attention.
For real. Honestly... I'm thinking twice about this shit.
Well, if I was Jay-Z, and I'm definitely not, I probably would tell me to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Are you on Jay-Z's radar? Is he going to listen to this?
Probably not.
I don't believe you.
One day, look, this is how I see it. Everybody's going to hear this shit eventually, because when I started out, I was getting 3 views.
Yep.
On each podcast, right? And then, like, fast forward, I was getting 250 views, and then my click-through rate went through like 420,000 people.
Oh shit!
And I was like, what the fuck? And then there was a big drop-off, but it stayed at 250 views, 300 views, and I was like, okay. What it is consistency.
Yeah, consistency is key.
That's what it was. And now I've got consistently, like, within the first 3 days of a podcast, 200 people will listen.
That's dope. That is dope. But these are long podcasts as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot of, like, listening time.
Yeah. I'm getting, like, fucking 120 hours.
You must be.
Fucking every week. It's fucking stupid.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But also, it just shows that, like, Jay-Z's not gonna listen because there's
True.
He will eventually. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we'll get him.
That's the thing is I'm not letting my ego get in the way of shit and be like, yeah, fuck you, Jay-Z will listen one day. No, I'm gonna continue to do this because it's fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, you can only just continue to do what you do and then see what happens.
And for other people that are wanting to do it too, fucking do it.
Yeah.
You got nothing to lose. Do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. And that goes for whatever you want to do.
Dude, I started on a couch
No shit.
with 2 iPhones going.
Fucking hell.
I had that one and this one.
No shit. And that's literally how it all starts like that. Everyone's story is like, the start is always something like that.
Yeah.
Me rapping, it was just me and a friend in my room, and a beat came on. And we're like, oh, this beat is hard. A 5-second silence, and we're like, do you reckon we can rap on it? And I'm like, fuck, let's try it.
Is that how you started?
That's literally how I started, yeah.
And you were 18 at the time?
Yeah, 18, 19.
Damn, bro.
Actually, I would have been 19 because this was like December. Yeah.
Right, so 2017.
Yeah, 2017, December. Yeah. Because I still got those first writtens.
Yeah. Okay.
Like on my phone.
Hectic.
And it has like the date on it. I'm like,
because so with your lyrics, do you go about writing them like handwritten or do you like put them in notes?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. I came up with a cool new way of writing. Well, I went away for work for about only a month and a half, something like that. So I just started writing on paper again.
Yeah.
So I started getting really bored. So I started drawing, and I ended up drawing on this side for like maybe an hour or something, and then writing on this side right after drawing.
And it's got to do wonders for your imagination.
Yeah, and at first it was just because like I got a pen and paper, I'll start writing. Then I started to realize like these kind of go together. Like this has influenced this in a way.
Yeah, because you got it sitting right there while you're writing. Right?
Yeah. And I mean, if I'm drawing fucking Mickey Mouse, you know, I'm getting in a different space, just drawing Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean?
Like there's a mouse in a house, and
there's a mouse in the house. Oh, yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm here sitting on
Holy
the couch.
shit.
Can't be slouched. What the fuck? I'm like, damn.
I'll write this shit down.
But
that's cool.
But yeah, usually if I'm just on the go or something, I'll just go on my phone. Like, unless it's got to be something like heavy. If I'm like, I got the pen and paper out, I'm gonna sit down for a while. Like if I'm planning a full thing, like a very heavy track or just something that's gonna be a lot, then I'll write on paper.
Yeah. Okay. So do you normally like gather? How do you gather ideas? Like
whatever comes to my head, right, and then. Say if I'm listening to a beat, which I'll do, I'll listen to a beat and write while the beat is on, and then I'll switch the beat completely and then write something else. And usually that alone will take me on a whole new idea.
So it's a pre-made beat that you listen to, and then that gives you the vibe from of what you're gonna write.
Then switch the beat completely, write something brand new, and then try to get product A and product B and make it product C together.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I'll do it. That's how the ideas come together.
1 + 1 = 2 kind of thing.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Does it?
I'm gone. I'm gone.
So with your setting the overall end tone of the song, like say if it's a sad song or like a dark song.
Yeah.
Do you find that like being now producing as well, do you find that being the producer you have more or less control, being that you can be the person who either dictates what happens or give the idea and inspiration to the other person and let them dictate what happens?
A bit of both. It depends on who the other producer is. Because now that I'm working closely with Saudi, someone that I feel like, at least in the city, is maybe the closest to my own vision. When I do give him something, it's always so close to what I was thinking. That I don't really feel there's too much of a change. Like there wasn't that much control that I gave up in the end because he was already tapped in with the same vision. And with me, I'm not that too good at it. So sometimes my eyes are bigger than my skills. Like I'll have like I'll think of something crazy. I'm like, then I spent an hour trying to do it and I can't do it. And trying to do something for that long, you're gonna lose some momentum, some spark. So when I do it, it's kind of like, get this idea down, try it. If it's not working, fuck it, keep going.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the ball. I don't want to sacrifice it to get this done. I can come back to this another time and work on it. but you want to get that down immediately.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
How often do you have those times where you go into a recording studio and it's one song that you actually want to work on, not just like, jumping from songs? From songs.
From song to song, yeah, because on a normal, if I sit down and go to record for X amount of time, it's like, listen to a beat, try something, listen to a beat, try something. Mm-hmm. Those ones that I sit down with, like Dahmer's planned sessions, that's probably something that I've been thinking about for like a week, like constantly in the background of life.
Yeah,
and I'm just thinking about it, drawing things from every day, and like I've spent a week preparing for this, and that's usually the best stuff. I mean, the stuff that you put all your thought into. So that's maybe like, I'd say a couple times a month.
Yeah,
I'll do a track that I'm like, I put a lot into this.
You're fixated.
A lot of layers on this. Yeah, like it's a track that I'd be able to talk about for an hour alone.
Right.
So yeah, that's probably a couple times a month.
That's cool.
I at least try it. There's no real number, but I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Okay. And how many tracks are on this new album?
It's 11 tracks.
11?
11, 12? Yeah, 11.
Do you know how many minutes it goes for?
It's about 31 minutes, 32
That's
minutes.
good length.
Yeah, it's a quick listen, but it's fucking, it just hits, bro. It hits.
And every song on the album has its own vibe?
Yeah, it's like the album's like a tree, and all these songs are different branches. None of them are really the same, but the track list itself and the sound does have like if you listen to an order, it does have like a beginning. It starts a certain way, the middle is a certain way, and the end is a certain way. So for anyone that does listen to albums in order, I know some people don't, some people do, there is some thought behind that. So you will get a different experience out of that.
That's good, because not a lot of people structure their albums in that way to take you on a journey.
Yeah,
a lot of people just kind of like throw the second best song first.
Yep.
A couple of tracks that are filler, and then a good song around 4 or 5.
And I get it, because I'll put out a project or two. I understand how these songs like get views. That first track is always going to have the most because it's first, and then if you have a feature, those tracks in the middle are going to get skipped sometimes, which I get it. You got to do what you got to do.
How many iterations? Fucking weird, man. How many fucking iterations of each track went into the song before it made the album?
Some tracks it was like one and done, like, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Because there's some tracks that are from like a year or two ago.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's some tracks that like, there was a track a couple days ago that we changed.
Oh shit.
Like literally a week ago we had to change it.
That's wild.
And I mean, like, it's off. It's off the album.
Oh, for real?
No shit. Like, we're like, nah, it's got to go.
Fit.
Yeah, and the song we replaced it with is like,
yeah,
way better. Yeah.
So how many songs have you got like in your arsenal that you haven't used?
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Are you gonna release like everything?
No. Some of it, a lot of it isn't meant to be listened for like entertainment. A lot of it is me trying to get better at rhyming or get better or trying this idea. I could, SoundCloud is a good space for that as well. From like, you guys want to open listening experience to how I get better. I could do that, but I do feel like I like to keep that, part of the mystique. Like, you can hear each complete sound from one to the other and nothing in the middle. Yeah. It's kind of how I like to do it. But
and how it's evolved.
Yeah. Because I'm bad with that. I've taken down so many tracks. So I need to get...
You?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. There's more tracks taken down on my SoundCloud than there is up. 100%.
You've gone negative.
Yeah, but I know what it is too, because I've deepened it. Because I know when I released my first tracks, it was because I felt that there was going to be a lot of traffic coming. So I was like, I don't want to be put into like, oh, he's rapping because everyone else is rapping. So I was like, let me put something together, put it out. That way I'm like, I predate it, at least in my sense. This is me not knowing anything about anything. I'm not listening to any artist from Australia. So I'm thinking like, there's no one here. I need to do something. And then I release, and then you find out this underbelly of artists that have been doing this for years. And I was like, oh, I released that shit for no reason. Let me take it down.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't predate anything.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I took all that down.
That's a lot of, there's a lot of things in the industry that you learn after you start.
Oh, hell yeah. You pretty much learn everything after you start. If you haven't started yet, you probably don't know anything. I'll be honest. It's a lot.
And that's what everybody goes into the industry to, well, not why they go in there, but they go in with the thought that it's going to be a breeze, everyone's going to love me. It's like,
yeah,
that might happen For sure, it might happen.
Yeah, 100%.
But, like, there's a lot of options to listen to.
There is, yeah.
So you've got to stand out.
And the options grow every day too.
Yes.
They doesn't slow down.
Yeah.
It's bigger.
Raj Shah, he is a manager at Mad Friends.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he also does PR.
Okay, yeah.
Press release and stuff. Like, he's the best in Perth at that shit.
Okay, right, yeah.
100%. And he said, you're not just putting out a song. In comparison to everything that's out there, if you think you're just going to put a song out and it goes up on a playlist like R&B Fridays on Spotify, like next to Drake, he's got mix and masters from the best in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
And to think that your track's going to be under his when I'm not saying you, I'm saying like anybody who comes into the industry.
Right.
You need to think about like mixing and mastering as one of the most crucial parts, because if it doesn't sound any good next to a Drake song, it's not going to go on that playlist.
Yep.
And when you pitch to Spotify, they don't listen to it straight away if they're going to listen to it. Like, think about it. They'll put it near, because it goes into genre and subgenre. They listen to that subgenre. So they'll listen to things all day, right?
Yep,
Imagine how many songs are coming in on a certain genre.
60,000 a day.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Probably more.
Literally.
Probably
yeah.
fucking more, right? And that number's growing every single day. There's only so many people that work at Spotify in the pitch division, and they curate what goes on these playlists. And if yours doesn't scratch up to the 1%, it's not gonna make it.
You just won't make the cut.
Yeah, and that point that Raj brought up, I was just like, holy fucking shit! I hadn't thought about that.
It's
before.
true. It's true.
There's a lot of like, that's me by showing an example of like, wow. Like, you can learn things while you're growing.
100%. I mean, if you're not, then that's just a detriment.
Yeah, just because you think it sounds good doesn't mean, like, everybody, like, I'm talking as a producer.
Right.
Just because you think it sounds good doesn't mean everybody else think it's going to sound good. I've heard, like I said, I learned from the best at Level Studio. Mm-hmm. And Sheldon's mixes shit all over mine.
They're phenomenal.
They're like wild, bro. Like I don't have any analog equipment just yet. I'm running straight digital. But that's one thing that we're looking at to up the game. But I think even before doing that, I still have to get to a level of like, with or without the analog equipment, it should sound a specific way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know much about, the engineering mix master side. Mm-hmm. But when I first got into it, I was like, okay, I've done the hard part, I've rapped, now it's time to make it sound good. And that's a different beast. I was like, this is fucking harder than the rapping, bro.
What's the hardest part, you reckon?
Making it sound super crisp and clean, but that for me, but also like training my ear to be like, okay, this is where it sounds very nice. But also for me, it's being innovative with it. You can make it sound clean, but like, what are you gonna do on top of it to add flair to a track, to add personality, add style, shit like that? Because even though it's only mix and mastering, as they say, I mean, you can add so much personality to it in that process, I think.
Yeah, that's why they consider mixing engineers, mastering engineers, and producers 3 different things.
Yeah, I agree.
It's 3 different titles, because you get one opportunity to implement your personality or whatever traits that you want into the song when you produce it.
Yep.
Then it gets sent to the next guy, and that dude has a certain way of doing shit, and like everybody has a different way of doing things. We all use different plugins.
Yeah.
Or like we might use variations of the same plugins, but they have different tones within that fucking plugin itself.
Yep.
People that don't understand what I'm talking about, don't worry about it.
We're getting deep with this. Just hold on for a second.
Yeah. And then it goes to the mastering agent, right? And all those motherfuckers have different shit.
Yep.
And they all learnt from a dude that's done it before. And they learned it from somebody that knows something completely different. So at the end product is 3 different variations. And like 3 times 3 is 9, right? So you get like 9.
Big maths.
Yeah. You get 9 variations. I think it's 9 variations. But with the artist profile that's like putting their lyrics on it.
Yeah, because
that changes everything.
Everything.
That makes it infinite.
Yep, the same mix, master, and engineer with two different artists is two completely different things.
Yes.
Even if they're the same processes.
Yes.
Just because the artist itself.
Yeah.
One small change and everything flips.
Yes.
Everything. It's a whole different game now. So that's the nuts part. But
yeah. There's so many good people to work with.
yeah, I mean, that after this album, that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to be outside trying to link up with producers, artists, everyone like that. Like I've had my head down for a bit now.
You
trying
just
to get this
ask,
together.
man. I'll tell you what you need.
For sure, bro. You need to hook me up.
Done.
I'm gonna pester everyone in a second.
Yeah, I know like the majority of the people that are making like the best tracks in Perth, which is
Yeah.
this podcast has given me the opportunity to talk to some of these people, and it's fucking wild.
Yeah, you got a good like list of people coming through. Like you read it and it's like, oh, this guy's talking to everyone.
Yeah. I've and that's what I like, man. Because everybody has a different way of doing shit.
Yeah. You know, listening to podcasts, sometimes you think like, damn, they've already said what I was going to say. But when you sit down and explain your process, something you thought about, you do realize how individual everyone is.
Yeah, I call it the artistic fingerprint.
Artistic thing. I like that. That's sick.
Yeah, I thought about that after the last podcast that I had, because I said something about community and how you grow up and your life being a fingerprint, because nobody's gone through the same shit you've gone through.
100%.
And art is exactly the same thing.
It's true.
It's wild, dude.
You ever get down with the idea that you don't really make the stuff up, you kind of pull it from around you?
Yeah, I've had a couple of different thoughts about this, like where ideas come from.
Yeah.
Right? Joe Rogan has a really interesting take on it, and his is that it's almost like there's aliens out there, and they've come down, beamed us, and we were apes before, and now we have these crazy thoughts, and the thoughts and the ideas come from a bunch of like different variables, obviously, because like we've innovated past like the ape kind of lifestyle. We don't live in trees or fucking on the savannah or anything like that. We live as a society in giant cities. And where did those cities come from? Ideas.
More or less, yeah.
Right? So the ideas...
So you're saying ideas are an alien
almost
construct?
Like more like an alien, right? Because they're entering us, and we think, oh, I thought of this hammer. Oh, this is my hammer. But it's not. It's more like something that's... You're like a filter. Right? This is my thought on it, right?
Right, yeah, I like this.
We are the sieve of the water of ideas and expression. And what your construct is as a human being and what you've been through catches because you recognize things that make you interested. So we have like 78,000 thoughts every second.
Nuts. Wait, is that for real?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
78,000.
I can Google it if you want me to.
I believe you because I know you looked this shit up already. I
could be 7,800.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, right? And the ones that we grasp onto are the ones that interest us because they give us a reflection of ourselves. And who do we want to play with most in this world?
Everyone. God.
Ourselves.
I knew that. It's going to be my next one.
Ourselves want to play, right?
Yeah.
And they want to learn and they want to the ego comes into play, right? And they're this idea was mine. And like, then you make something cool and you show other people that are going on the same shit that you are. And you're like, oh, God, right? It's what we were doing in the studio.
Yeah, more or less.
It's the same shit, right?
700-800 thoughts per second. And what interests you is what you think, or what you pay attention to.
It's what you filter. You are the sieve. You know what a sieve is?
Yeah.
You pour water through noodles and it catches the noodles but it lets the water go through. Yeah, ideas are the noodles that get caught in the filter and the rest of the ideas are the water that like flow through the sieve.
I like that. That's a hectic idea.
That's how I feel about ideas.
It's also disprovable as well. But it isn't a bit like the idea that you have of what ideas are. It's kind of like that's like a little paradox in a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that'd be the idea of you having that would also be coming from the same sieve as well in a way.
Yeah. It's almost looking up as like, who the fuck is pouring this shit? Like these noodles and water into this?
I think it'd be just the universe itself. I think it's all it's like the universe looking in on itself, because we are.
There's an idea for that.
There is?
Yeah, as I can't remember who said it, but it was humanity is the gift of the universe being able to perceive itself.
Yeah, that's legit exactly what I was trying to explain. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like life comes from the universe. We apparently are stardust. If you look,
more or less, yeah.
Yeah, there's been a couple of people that have explained, if you zoomed out from Earth, right, it's almost like we're a bacteria that keeps multiplying to take over the land.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And even if you look in like the fridge or even your backpack when you're in school and you had a sandwich in there from the start of the week and it's all moldy and shit, that's a planet zoomed out.
What? I got so lost. Wait, the sandwich?
The sandwich in your backpack, if it's got mold growing on it, that is a planet zoomed out. We are the mold. We are the bacteria that's eating this earth.
Right.
Right? And just like the mold eats the sandwich, we eat this earth. We spread out, we multiply.
We spread out, we multiply, we damage it.
Yes, and the difference is between the mold and us is the mold can only grow on that planet where we are free from the planet, just like you explained in the kitchen area before. You are defying gravity with a step up.
Yeah, I beat gravity every day.
You're beating gravity every day. That whole thing doesn't exist when you get shot into the fucking universe.
True.
Right? What Elon Musk
because we aren't
is
so
trying to
connected to the earth. We're mobile in a way. We have the freedom to move off it.
Yes, we're
Definitely.
mobile. The point that I was going to bring up, the difference between the mold on the sandwich and us, is we can leave this earth, which also means disregard what we know about human beings and mold, right? Because mold is like a single cell. Normally, it's a single cell organism behind a sheath wall, and it grows over the top, eats away whatever it is.
A lot of knowledge on mold, bro. This is nuts.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and that's just mushrooms, right? That's the mycelium of mushrooms. But if you look at the internal structure of how your microbiome is like orchestrated almost by the hormones of the body. Well, also it's a dance. It's a paradox, because the microbiome that's inside the body actually triggers certain hormones to work, and then hormones also regulate that. So it's a back and forth kind of thing.
Yeah, okay.
But we have a microbiome inside of us. Mold is a microbiome.
So we are pretty much mold.
We are mobile mushrooms.
Yeah. To go back to that analogy you're making with the mold and the sandwich and the backpack, would you, if you continue that and think we're the mold on the planet, mold can't travel around the backpack, can it? Because it will die, if it's not on the sandwich. But is it free to travel off the sandwich?
It depends.
It's just we're free to travel off the Earth, but we can't survive.
Just like we're looking for other planets that can sustain like human life, the mold would need other sources of like resources on planets, like on other sandwiches. Yeah. But if it was like, here's a like say like a wallet in a backpack, it'll jump on the wallet, realize there's no resources, and die. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's
we're
what
just
we're
some
trying
moldy
to do.
things looking for another sandwich.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
That's crazy. Nuts. Holy shit.
Yeah. How did we get to that point?
I don't know, but we got there. We got there clean too.
Yeah. It's a wild thought to think about where ideas come from, and like the cities, that's how we got there. The cities that get built all come from ideas. Yeah. The ideas that we have don't necessarily come from us. No. But the 28 trillion neurons inside of our brain. Yep. Those, if you ever looked like through one of those colanders, like a sieve that has like heaps and heaps and heaps of wires, right? And you put it hell far away. Can you see the wires, or does it just look like a blur?
I mean, eventually at a certain distance, it's just a blur until you really look up at it.
Exactly. So each one of those filters, let's call them filters,
right,
can represent a neuron.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, and an idea will flow through that. Right. So if you have 100 billion neurons, 100 billions of those little fucking filters that dictate how you feel, but also catch these fucking ideas and then present them to your prefrontal cortex, which allows you to process it. Just like,
shit.
What the fuck?
And this all happens
Instantaneously.
quicker than that. Yeah, quick
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah. It happens at the speed of light, actually.
That happens at the speed of light.
They say it's the speed of light because it's an electric network that runs through the brain.
Yeah,
You know how they say like...
all the signals go through an electric network.
Yeah, it goes through an electrical network. So it's literally the speed of light.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking weird, bro.
It is. And the speed of light itself is such a consistent fucking base number that to me is nuts.
Well, they say that the fucking that the universe is expanding at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
that's...
yeah, is that like general knowledge? Everyone knows the universe expands, right? That's like a thing you get taught.
Not Christians.
Not Christians? I'm Christian, I got taught. I
was brought up Catholic.
I was brought up Christian.
Yeah, you were brought up Christian.
Yeah.
Was it like full on?
My name's Isaac. That's a biblical name.
I'm
right
Jacob, brother.
Yeah, yeah, come on now. It's a biblical name. Damn. But yeah, it was full on. We used to go to 2 churches every Sunday.
Yep.
Yeah, full on.
When did you stop?
Whoa, when my mum finally let me say no. I must have been like 15 when I had the choice. Like, you coming to church today? I was like, nah.
Damn.
I'm gonna stay at home.
Yeah, and then you never went back. Or do you
I never went back for God. I went back for family because there's family there.
Yes, of course, yes.
But yeah.
What do you believe now? Do you believe that?
No. I don't think you said, do you believe in God? I'm like, not in the Christian sense.
No.
I do believe there is a higher power,
Okay.
but I don't think we're even ready to perceive what that is.
Go on.
And people hate when I say it, but I find the concept of us knowing our God a bit nice, or even thinking that we have like a specific God catered to our species is a bit narcissistic. It's a narcissistic trait we have as a species.
What brought you to that thought?
I don't know. It's just when I think about it, and I just think with all these different life forms and animals and all this stuff at play, you know, with the 28 trillion neurons going every day, every second, and we think that there's a God that is specifically catered for us and us alone, and like everything around is to accommodate us. I just find it narcissistic. I just don't really get that. Not in like a subtle narcissistic trait we'll have. Or it's a trait that we have picked up as a species to help us dominate food chains across the globe.
Yeah.
Because you need to kind of be that way as a species if you want to dominate some shit.
Well, it's almost like ultimate leadership, right?
Yeah.
It's like having someone... Humans are weird in that they have almost like a need to be told what to do.
Yeah. If you think about it.
If you leave somebody to their own devices, you come back like 5 years later and you're just like, bro, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
You know,
You didn't tell me to do nothing.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? You've just been smoking weed and eating Cheetos.
I was watching some sort of social experiment. It's like they leave someone in a room and there's a red button there, and they say, "Don't touch the red button. I'll be right back. It's gonna shock you. It's gonna hurt you if you press it." So they leave the room, and they after like 2 minutes, everyone is just like, and it's like they'd rather feel pain rather than be left there bored.
They want to know
Like,
what happens.
Yeah, boredom is way worse than feeling that pain.
Yeah. That's a true thing. And one thing that really blew my mind is there was no pushback against, to go fucking tin hat theory right now, against the way that mental health was treated during COVID. You know, people being alone and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that boredom theory where everyone was locked in and they couldn't do jack shit. I don't know how like the rest of the world experienced it, but we had like extreme lockdowns. Like you couldn't even enter the state.
It was nuts. It was nuts. Yeah.
I mean, that was a good thing.
And there was numbers on it. Like we knew it was affecting people.
Yeah.
Like everyone was told like, yeah, there's more suicides, more cases of depression. I just seen like a headline yesterday. Yeah, depression's at an all-time high in teenagers, stuff like that.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's the lack of communication and like having people around you. Because sure,
do you reckon that's what it is?
Kind of. I think we depend on our devices so much for that connection, but we always had genuine connection as well.
Do you know what my thoughts on it were?
What?
society right now is going through a transitional period where everybody values attention more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, attention is it's the new gold.
Attention also puts like people that aren't getting attention. It highlights like their lack of attention.
Yeah.
So there's almost like a, I don't know if you grew up poor or like fucking.
Yeah, I grew up dressed rich enough to be poor around white people.
Dressed rich enough to be poor.
Well, my parents did just well enough to grow up poor around white people.
That's fucking good, bro.
Yeah,
Well,
very good. No, it's fucking, they did amazing.
Fuck yeah. Well, I grew up with a single mom before like she met my stepdad, and we weren't like poor. She really worked really hard for us and stuff, but I could always tell the fucking kids that like pulled up in Mercedes and like they had both their parents.
Yeah.
Fuck you. But
Fucking happiness and
yeah,
shit.
pieces
You're
of
out of control.
shit.
Do it again.
They also had like I forgot my point.
I think you're gonna say something like they are more inclined to get depressed and sadder during the lockdown.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we're on the topic of attention and COVID.
Yeah.
So the people that I grew up around with, I knew that they were going to they were around money, and money right now isn't given the same value as attention. Attention's given everything. I've done a social experiment. I've talked about this hundreds of times on the podcast. Hundreds of times. I've only done 30. You're my 38th. I've probably talked about it 20 times. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Okay. A social experiment.
Yes, and it's Instagram. So I put up reels. Those reels, I wanted to see how I could make them viral.
Okay. Yep.
One of my reels hit like 5.6 million yesterday.
Oh, I think I've seen that very same reel I saw. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
man's going up.
yeah. Well, I did that shit, and I was like, oh wow, it's like pulling up in a Mercedes when you're in fucking primary school.
Yeah, I mean, the views is the car. Like,
that's everything. And
Yeah.
imagine what the people are feeling like that don't get the views and they're trying, right?
I think that a lot of people might not pay attention to it, but for the ones that do,
It's within society. Like, everybody's doing that shit. Everybody's trying to get heard. If you're not a true artist like yourself, you're trying to be an Instagrammer, an influencer, a TikToker, whatever the fuck it is. And a lot of people are trying and not succeeding. And I think that has to take a fucking toll on your ego.
if you're not aware of it,
Yeah.
then it has to. That's gonna eat at you without you even knowing. There's people that I know that do it for that goal, and they're very like self-aware and upfront about it. Like, nah, I'm gonna get this shit popping and get this and that. So they know that's why they're doing it. And I feel like they're probably less inclined to feel sadder about it because they're actively thinking about it and working. They're probably gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it deep down, you don't know. Then deep down, you don't know it's affecting you.
Yeah. If you don't know it's affecting you, and it's also keeping you away from, like you said, communication, time and connection with others, verbally, and being in front of someone like we are now,
Yeah.
well, then it's going to be like even rougher on your stability
Yeah.
over time, because you're not having connection. Then you're wasting your time on something that you're failing at.
100%.
And like when you're sitting on your phone, even when you're at dinner and something, or like with somebody, and they look at their phone, you're like, this motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, bro, if you're on a date and someone pulls that shit,
Oh, it's over. You're like, well, I don't want to talk to this motherfucker anymore.
yeah, go talk to your mums. I don't care who it was.
Yeah,
Get out
no
of here. Yeah. But yeah, to relate it to money, if you don't know you're broke socially, like you're socially broke, there's no number on the screen to tell you that. So you're walking around broke, but you don't have no indication of it.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't pay for hello. Not right now. You don't have enough social money.
I do feel, because I've been going through this like transitional period of like just trying to do media solely like for a while. So I put myself in the category of not wanting to become an influencer or anything, but just look, I love making podcasts and I love having chats with like really cool people.
A person of influence in your field.
Not even that. I just want to be able to do the shit that I want to do without someone like worrying about a clock or...
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Break free of the rat race.
Yeah. We all know that one. We all know that one.
Yeah.
We all know it.
Yeah. And even I go through little cycles of like, dude, when I have to edit, I sit alone watching a conversation that I've already had. It's like,
Yeah.
it's odd.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, 100%.
It's an odd experience. And I thought about that deeply the other day, and I was like, am I having this conversation twice, but I'm now mediating what I get to say?
Well, you kind of are. Technically.
Technically, yeah.
Technically, you kind of are, yeah.
It's fucking odd.
But I still think the conversation was had, though.
Mm-hmm.
So you've had that conversation, whether you get to mediate twice or not.
It's almost like I put a different hat on. Like when I do a podcast, I'm like, okay, we're doing the podcast. What's going on? Okay, the sovereign.
Yeah, for sure.
But when I put on the editing hat, it's almost like I kind of have to put like a pair of sunglasses on that let me see it as a viewer.
Yep.
Because I'm doing like 2-hour edits that take me 6 hours to edit.
You got to imagine how people are going to receive it.
Exactly.
And to do that, you got to definitely put on that other hat.
Exactly. How much revision do you do before you put a song out?
I used to do a lot. I used to, steps that had to first sound good right then and there when I make it. Need to listen to a car. Need to take it to one of my boys and play it secretly, and then play it while telling them.
Yeah.
And then like all these things just so I can get that validation. Like, yeah, this okay. I'm happy with this. But now it's like not a lot at all. Like I'll make sure it sounds nice. I have people help me make sure it sounds nice technically, but in terms of like how people receive it, not too much thought goes into it anymore. At least after the fact. Before the fact, it will. Like when I'm writing, and I'll write it a certain way. They'll be like, okay, this is how they're going to receive that, depending on where they are in their lives. But after the fact, nah, not much.
That's interesting. Because not a lot of people, like, there's all too many artists that go and write lyrics, and they get there's a lot of singers that'll put a melody on any beat. Fuck, it doesn't matter. And then they'll write lyrics after it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I know people that I'm very close with work like that.
Yeah.
And it's great. I've started to adopt that a bit as well, like try it here and there, experiment
How
with it.
many singing tracks do you have?
On the album or in general?
In general.
I got a lot. Maybe a good 30, 40 of me trying singing in general.
Yeah.
I got a lot, yeah. It was almost the sound for Long Live for a bit because I was going through that period where I was doing it a lot and I had a big collection of what I considered to be good tracks. And I was like, should this be the sound? But then it wasn't. Yeah, there is some singing elements on the album.
You did a track with it was from Blue Hills.
Oh yeah.
With Ghostmark.
Yeah, that's gonna be on Long Live. That's the exclusive right there. That's on Long Live.
I've heard that. And
I
was like, God damn, dude, you went hard in the paint with that one.
Bro,
yeah.
That's one of my favorite tracks, top 3 favorite tracks.
Yeah, for sure.
It's such a special track, such a niche feeling you get from it. Like you don't get that feeling from other tracks.
And that kind of like hard hitting fucking beat, like it's like almost saturated, like it's just
with the melody over the top. And I just happened to strike gold when Ghostmark was in that Blue Hills phase. Yeah, that it just transpired so perfectly on the beat. Like it was so good.
Have you done shows with him before?
Yeah, we've done a few shows now.
Yeah,
he helped launch my. Did he help launch it? He might have. Stay Safe. Yeah, Stay Safe. Yeah, he helped launch a single. We've been on numerous shows together. He's fucking killer.
This is what I'm saying, man. The amount of talent in Perth.
Yeah, it's nuts. Just when you think there's heaps, there's just someone new.
It's almost like there's coves.
Yeah.
Right? It's like almost like a cluster where different parts of the city have different sounds, and then within those groups, they have friend groups that all have different sounds. Have you heard those guys out of, I think it's Mirrabooka, and they sound like Chicago boys?
Is that like the MBF boys? Mighty Mo, Nabius, and...
I don't know their names.
Could be, who else is it?
Reaper the Illest did a song with them recently.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the song he has with MBF or Mighty Mo?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Dude.
They're hard.
How the fuck do they pull that out their ass?
They're crazy. Some of these dudes I've known all my life as well.
Yeah,
I've known since I was like very young, and it's just the way they grew up. You know what I mean? They're not putting on nothing. They're not doing this or that. It's what they grew up listening to. It's who they are. So that's the best part about it. When I know personally that it's like that, so I don't have that. Are they putting on a sound or something?
Yeah,
and I just know it. I'm like, that's hard. That's hard. You can feel it too sometimes.
Yeah, you can. You can always like hear genuine fucking like tones and lyrics, and when it's not genuine, you can fucking definitely hear it.
Oh, but if you can hear it, it's the worst. It's the worst. And when they're not aware of it, I feel for you, bro.
Yeah. But fucking big ups to the people trying to find them still, you know, like that are on that train, but are still trying something different. Eventually you'll find your sound, but you kind of don't want to waste time as well, right? Yeah,
you're always against the clock. You're always in the rat race, but some things you just can't cheat.
Yeah.
You got to take your time to find your sound. And sometimes it doesn't. There's some people that feel like they just get it straight away.
True.
And I'm like, that is dope. That's a lot dope. I don't know what is it skill,
those
but
motherfuckers.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah. That's the people that I take my hat off to, because even knowing, like, having talent's one thing, but pursuing that talent is a whole different ballgame. And I find, I have found that the people that have not sounded so good in the beginning, that's actually easier to get better sounding, because you've already got the inspiration, because you know your shit. Tony Robbins has this fucking thing called unconscious incompetence to conscious competence. So you start out, right, and you're unconsciously aware. You're unconsciously aware that you're shit. You're shit, and you don't know you're shit.
You think you're great.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
And then you have your first show, and then within 30 seconds you find out you're shit.
Yep.
Right? And you consciously make that awareness change. And then after that, after fucking heaps of practice and finding your sound and really going through the fucking journey that is an artist and finding their art and their style and their tone and fucking everything, you become competent. And you're consciously competent. And then after years and years and years of that shit, then eventually you might tie your shoelaces without having a look. You might become unconsciously competent, and you might succeed in getting everybody on your side in that time.
Unconsciously competent is one of the coolest things I've ever fucking heard. That is hard. Yeah. And it makes so much sense to me. Like, I get it.
Right? It's literally, it's when you first tie your shoelaces.
Yep.
And then...
It took me ages. I didn't tie my shoelaces till like year 5.
You have Velcros?
Yeah, I have Velcros. I still have Velcros.
Yeah.
But by choice.
Yeah. Not sandals though, right?
Nah. I've never owned a pair of sandals in my life.
Me neither, brother. Fuck that shit.
Nuts. Yeah. Oh, God, bro. Just cover your whole foot, you fucking weirdo. Holy shit.
You need a strap for the back and the front.
You're out of control, bro.
God damn, control them heels. Get some thongs, bro. What the or flip-flops, whatever you call it these days.
Yeah, whoever invented the sandal was fucking bugging.
Oh, bro. That was the Arabians, right?
Was it?
I think so.
Bugging.
Like, didn't Jesus have sandals?
Yeah, he did. I got your lyrics on Jesus sandals, bro. Hell yeah. Jesus had them sandals.
He did. You should write a song about Jesus having Velcro sandals.
Man.
Because he's in 2022. Imagine if he came back and he chose to wear Velcro sandals. You'd be.
Do you think everyone would follow?
No.
Yeah, because I wouldn't do shit.
No fucking way, bro. He'd have like a Catmandu bag on. And
if Jesus said, my son, son of my father, please join us. Put on some sandals. Fuck you, bro. Nah. Yeah, I ain't doing that.
Probably fucking...
I don't care if them shits made me walk on water.
Yeah, no shit.
That's probably the secret. I just don't know it yet because I never wore sandals.
You gotta adopt the sandals, bro.
Yeah, the Bethlehem 5s.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, fuck yeah. The wooden kind. Didn't they make them out of fucking leather back in the day?
I heard they were made... something was made out of hemp. Was it the cloak?
Yeah, there was cloak.
Okay, yeah.
Super light. You can see his dick on a good breeze.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Like heavenly dick.
That's why all the fucking prostitutes followed him.
Oh, God.
Do you know that story?
No?
Yeah, apparently there was prostitutes that followed him, but he only gave them advice and he didn't fuck them. That's when I was like, I ain't coming back. I'm done with this shit.
No shit.
I was 7.
Now I know why the dudes are following him too.
Yeah, no shit. Because they were fucking.
He had all the hoes and still not fucking.
Yeah, he was in the manger just sleeping away, and everyone else is just in the barn, just.
I couldn't imagine trying to get game back when Jesus was around.
No shit,
Hey,
you
bro, where
fucked the wrong
at?
bitch.
Oh,
you
Jesus. Goddamn Jesus,
He's
bro.
talking in the ear while they wash it. Well, dude, I heard the craziest shit the other day, right? And sorry if I offend any religious folk, but I'm gonna. No, I'm not. They say that there was like over 50 different iterations of the man Jesus. Some people believe wholeheartedly that he was a magician that came through the town and did tricks for people.
That's what he did, right?
Yeah.
More or
But
less.
as a magician.
Like an actual magician.
Yeah. He told her this crazy fucking
Like a jester.
misconception to everybody. Like,
Right.
and almost, they wrote a book about this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a big book too.
It's a big, have you read it?
The Bible?
Yeah.
I've read a couple testaments. I know which ones. But there's like 300 Bibles in my house.
For real?
There's heaps, yeah.
So you just go like one bookshelf, it's all Bibles?
We have a bookshelf that's like, it's filled with like marketing books, something, a kid's Bible, like a picture book Bible.
Oh, fuck.
So like, my family's very religious.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of family, so it's a lot of books.
I never read it,
Yeah.
but I think I'm going to. I wonder if there's an audio book on it.
There's probably.
Yeah.
It's probably.
It's
Yeah.
probably just like a sermon after sermon.
There's no way there's an audio book in Harry Potter and the Bible will let that slide. They're like, we need to get in on this.
Yeah. That's interesting.
We need to get, because
It's the highest selling book in the world.
Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I think it's that and like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but I think one is full of mysticism and like wild, like crazy shit, and the other one is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, true. Man, I did a deep dive on Lord of the Rings lore once. One of my mates sent me a video. I was like, all right.
That dude
Nuts.
created a fucking language for that fucking show.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's
You
wild.
gotta respect it. That world building is fucking crazy.
Yeah, like that dude was literally like in the metaverse in his head before we even thought about that shit. You think about what movies were before we had the internet, right? Somebody was coming up with an alien going through a colander, an idea.
Got that?
And they're portraying it in an artistic way to everybody else that makes them contemplate what that scenario would actually be like. And nowadays, it's pushed to the limits where they're using submarines on Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's just crazy. I don't know words for it. It's fucking nuts.
It's wild.
It's nuts as hell.
It doesn't make sense. And
I do feel like movies are getting out of control lately, though. They're getting like...
Example.
They're becoming giant spectacles, visual spectacles.
Like the Avengers?
Like the Avengers, but no, the Avengers is not the Avengers, but I feel like the Avengers might be the catalyst for a lot of it. But Infinity War's got good, like, to me, good writing, good story, good elements and stuff.
Infinity War and Endgame?
Not Endgame. I did not say Endgame.
You didn't like Endgame?
No, Endgame's a mess, but it's a fun mess.
Yeah, I don't like how they're not going to continue from, like, Iron Man has to come back.
Yeah, he does.
But his contract's over. Robert Downey Jr.'s contract, he was contracted for 8 movies.
Yeah.
And now he's not doing any more. And it'll be fucking terrible.
I want him to come back, but I feel like
don't
for the
use
sake
him
of the
again.
story, he shouldn't.
No.
Because if you look back in 10 years when someone gets around to watching the whole thing and they'll watch Iron Man die, to them it'll be the next couple movies. They'll watch him come back. It's kind of it will feel cheap in a way.
100%.
And that's also, it's way more powerful that he's just dead.
Oh, yeah.
So powerful.
But it also leaves it lingering. Like, it'd be cool if they had, like, a side story where it brought him up and what led him to his death or something like that. Because it was like... But you kind of can't do that because it was just a...
Yeah, like me personally, I wouldn't mind like a young Iron Man movie. You'd have to have spot on casting because that's what makes Iron Man Iron Man.
Yeah,
it's
for
that
sure.
Robert Downey Jr. casting.
Yeah.
If there was like a teenage version of him, that like a movie was made about, I'd watch it happily.
Or even like a Netflix series, like a.
Oh yeah. I always prefer series to movies. But yeah.
Nowadays they're just really long series. I mean, really long movies.
The shows, because their production quality is just...
It's insane. Like that Lord of the Rings movie that Tobias Mars' brother was in.
Oh, yeah, he plays Theo.
In, what is it? Something of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings?
No, it's... Keeper of the Rings? Something like that. Hold on.
The new Lord of the Rings series? I definitely know
on Amazon.
Yeah.
86% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's done quite well. Apparently, a lot of people are saying it's a flop. I don't think...
People are upset with like something to do with
it has
the memory of the guy that created it. Apparently, it's not what he had vision or something.
Yeah.
But visually, it's crazy.
I understand what they're saying, because if you grew up watching The Lord of the Rings or reading the books came out in the fucking 70s, bro.
Yeah, shit. Motherfuckers were written with a feather.
Yeah,
them shit's just nuts.
But going back on what you were saying before, why do you think that like the Avengers was the catalyst for the spectacle of movies these days?
Well, it's a testament to their world building first and foremost. What Kevin Feige and that did with building that interconnected story between movies. That's what led to Endgame. But just that's what it is, more or less. Mm-hmm. That intense world building and everyone trying to do that. So they think we need Godzilla and we need King Kong, and then we need to put them together.
Right.
Or we need this Spider-Man, the other Spider-Man, and the other Spider-Man
all together.
And it feels
That's
like
true.
it's a lot of stitching now, like going together. You know what I mean? Like, how can we bring an IP that people know, mix it with another IP that people know, and see what we can do with it? Because that shit sells. And the worst part is it sells, because that's what's selling.
Do you think that's like... that was given birth through like Alien versus Predator?
I think it was given birth through the constant sequels of movies that we're getting.
Yeah.
Because all we're getting fed is the same IP over and over again.
Well, they had that with like Halloween. You know,
I've
movie?
never seen Halloween, but
there's like fucking 15 of them.
Yeah, they're nuts. Yeah, there's so many.
And it's always the same shit. He always comes back to life and then tries to kill a bunch of people.
Who's the killer in that?
Michael Myers.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, and it's like the Freddie. I was about to say Freddie Mercury. Please come
I'd be
back.
down to watch Freddie Mercury versus Michael Myers. That shit would be nuts. You know how Bruce Lee like yells when he fights?
Yeah.
I can imagine Freddie like, pick it up. Pick it up.
Oh, she's a killer queen.
Doesn't Michael Myers just like walk everywhere?
Yeah, but he does like a fast-paced walk.
Yeah, like the hell stiff like.
Yeah, like
that's a lot of walking.
Like he's had his back fused.
15 movies. He's walking a lot.
Well, he's done 15 movies. At the first one, he's doing cartwheels to the people. Like, but now he's just. I've been walking for 60 fucking years.
Old. Yeah, he's like, fuck this, man.
Well, apparently now they're doing a bunch of new Michael Myers where the mask looks a lot more incorporated to real life faces, which is weird.
Real life faces.
Yeah, I heard something about like instead of it being a mask, they're gonna have somebody that looks similar to him who ends up painting his own face white and then like I don't know, visually affecting his eyes to black them out and having crazy hair.
It's an idea. I don't think it's going to work as good as
it's definitely not. It's going to be a flop.
Yeah,
Prove me wrong, Halloween.
It comes out, this month then? End of the month?
Oh, no. I think this is just in production at the moment.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I could be talking out my ass right now.
But it does...
I see a lot of shit.
It does make me think of a question I was begging the boys the other day.
Okay, let's go.
The movie Jeffrey Dahmer... The one that just came out, the Netflix one.
You seen it?
No, I haven't. I don't watch them.
All right,
I think it's weird as fuck.
I watched it.
I can't stress. I think it's so weird that we sensationalize real life killers and make like when it was like real life documentaries, so we know what happened and stuff, and they were informational. I was down with it.
But that's what happens when you give production value to people.
They casted Evan Peters. Evan Peters is a dope actor. He's casted as a real life serial killer. I'm like, hey, yo. Imagine you got murked by him and you're just played by some second rate nobody. And in the movie, your killer is Evan Peters.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it just sensationalizes it in a weird way. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, he played that role so fucking well, dude.
I heard he's nuts in it.
It's so, he sold it so well it was cringeworthy. There was parts and there was scenes where I didn't look away, my missus did, and I was just like, how?
Yeah.
Like, this is like when there's like a head in the fridge and he's just like, you know, breaking up other fucking like pills to put in someone's drink so he can fucking drug them and then like cut them up. And like in the first episode, he tells a man after he picks him up, brings him back to his house, it smells like rotting meat. He's like, dance for me. He's like, go get the camera. And then he sits him down in his fucking bedroom and there's like a massive blood stain on the bed. And it's fresh. You can tell it's fresh. And he puts his head on his chest and he's like, I'm going to eat your heart. And I was like,
oh, what a weirdo.
This is fucking... And they're like... And he's watching a horror movie and it's like almost like sexual music that's on because this guy's like dancing. And I was like, God,
that's all like for the production experience.
Well, no, it's more... It's all like to showcase his life, but with him on the pedestal. So I understand what you're saying by like you don't like how we put serial killers and like give them a fucking like a story or glorify them or whatever the fuck we do. It's almost sick because there's been stories now where women have come forth and they see that the idea of not Sean Evans, whatever the fuck his name is.
Evan Peters, yeah.
Evan Peters, sorry. Sean Evans is from fucking the Hot Wing Show. But there's been stories that come about Evan Peters, not about Evan Peters, but about the idea of Jeffrey Dahmer and how he's becoming a sex icon.
Yeah, it's stuff like that.
The fuck are
but
you talking
I feel like
about?
when you put so much production value into something, that's what's going to happen.
Like anybody who thinks that dude is sexy, just shut the fuck up.
You damn weirdo.
You weirdo. You like go seek help. Like
if I was at the helm of the Dahmer show, I'd make the victims the main characters.
Well, it's kind of weird, right? Because they put the secondary main character, Glenda, maybe her name's Glenda. I think
Glenda is a crazy man.
Oh, fuck. Gangster.
Glenda.
No, but she lived next door to him in the show, but in real life, she didn't live in the same building.
Okay.
So she's like complaining throughout the show, being like, hey, like, I smell meat. But like, that wasn't real.
That's all drama.
That's
like
all.
it.
It's just all fucking added production value shit, right?
Yeah.
It's weird, dude.
It's nuts. Yeah, it's just like a weird. It's weird on us, not us, but like the people, how we gravitate towards like sick shit like that. And like we want to see it. Like we have like an innate curiosity. Like we know it's fucked up, and we'll all say it's fucked up, but it's the #1 movie trending right now on Netflix. Like we're all gonna watch it still.
Well, it's a 10-episode series.
Yeah.
Right, and you kind of like, and I hate to admit this, but by like episode 4, I'm like still worried for the victims.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, he's not a bad guy. He's just misunderstood.
Because it's story devices. For a good story, you kind of have to do that.
Yeah, but like, what kind of fucking society do we live in where we're like, we want as a producer of a show to give or shine light on somebody who's destroyed families and make him lovable?
It's weird. And the only reason they're doing it is because they know we're going to watch it. So, there's the demand for it. That means, 4 or 5 production or writers have to sit down like, all right, here's a terrible person. But to fit him in the story, we're going to have to have him some redeemable qualities. So,
yeah,
how are we going to make this person better? I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. Now you're just making a really shitty person and giving him redeemable qualities that he never had probably.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever had. And I don't know nothing about him, but...
Oh, he definitely had like no qualities that I would be like, yeah, fuck, I want to be a bit like that.
Yeah, so the parts that make the story interesting are probably parts that have been fabricated to make the story interesting, to make it watchable.
Yeah.
And I'm just like...
Well, it's just, it is fucking filthy to like think about like if you're a human that lives in a society, you have to draw a line somewhere to be like, that's not civil.
Yeah.
Right? And almost like as the apes that watch this shit, like on Netflix, you kind of want to know who crossed the line.
Yeah.
Who crossed that fucking line?
Yeah.
And
We just have that curiosity. We just fucking have to know.
But they didn't have to do it like that.
Nah.
They didn't have to make it seem like, oh, like he was lovable. Like he just had a fucking bad turn of cards. Look, sure, there's plenty of people that have. He's not one of them.
Yeah. Nuts. I like to see a movie where it's like a meta play on our need to watch something like that. Like a movie where the main character...
It's like Human Centipede #2.
No. Like a movie where we get forced into liking someone that we think is a good guy, and at the end it flips and we find out it's a shit person.
I'm sure there'd be movies.
I need to find one like that. If you know a movie like that, put it in the comments so I can watch it, because I need to fucking watch that.
Yeah, there's definitely... There's that many fucking movies out there.
Yeah.
How many movies... Let's take a ballpark figure. How many movies do you think have been released in the last 20 years?
20 years?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a cramp. I want to think that
You're
there's
right?
like... Yeah. I want to think that there's like maybe 15 major movie producers that probably produce about 10 or so movies a year. I want to say it's about 20 years, 20,000 movies.
20,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says here... Background of I can't read right now.
Do you want me to read that?
Background to the domain of cinema. It has been estimated that there are approximately 500,000 movies or narrative fiction feature-length theatrical cinema films currently in existence. 500.
Currently in existence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's like 7.9 billion people on the planet now.
Yeah.
So that's not a lot of people that are putting out movies. But if it was 4 people,
True.
you know, that's a lot of fucking movies.
That's it. That's heaps.
There's years. Let's find out how many movies were put out in like 2021.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go.
Like movies that were in cinema or movies that were just made in general? Made in general, I think there's probably like 800 movies that year.
You can't even scroll through this. Like, there's like page after page
Jeez.
of movies. Like, god damn, man.
I mean, it's one of those like the biggest industries as well. Like
It is, right?
It's got to be heaps, yeah.
It's like it's the one that people move the most for,
yeah.
right? So when Hollywood was like, there was no like Harvey Weinsteins or, you know, like like serial rapists trying to just like fuck all the hottest like film stars. That was the hot spot, and that's where you would move to. Like, just, you know how like people say, "What, are you gonna move to the East Coast to do your music?" It's like the same shit. You're gonna move to fucking LA to get like
100%.
to do your acting. And now, because we have decentralized entertainment, like you can jump on Spotify anywhere in the world.
Yep.
Like, we don't need that anymore.
True.
Right? And you have like Netflix, who's like they're making
Netflix makes anything.
And they have the production cost, or the like, the GDP as a fucking as a company to like invest.
But it's killing them. It's killing them.
You reckon?
Yeah, because
is that what's happening, or that's what you think?
But they're spending all this money, you know, their own money to make these movies.
Yeah,
and then there's just Disney. You just can't compete with that because Disney Plus has all this IP that you can't.
I thought Disney was losing money.
Nah, Disney's fucking.
Oh, they're acquiring heaps of assets right now,
and they've got all the assets in the world. Like Disney makes its own show. They put all their own money to create an IP. Say Stranger Things. Stranger Things is a good one actually because Halloween comes around, people were dressed as Stranger Things characters.
Isn't Netflix owns Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Okay.
Netflix, you know, they own that. They've created something that you can visually think of what color scheme Stranger Things is, and you know the outfits, the vibe, and all stuff. The IP is very strong, and then Netflix has all this Disney IPs. Think of all the toys that they create a show. 1 million toys come with that show.
True.
Spider-Man, Disney owns it. Spider-Man sells like crazy.
It's a good point.
Yeah, then
there's a lot of avenues for revenue.
What's another big Netflix show? Think Bridgerton. It's hard to make.
Bridgerton?
Yeah, Bridgerton was huge, isn't it? I've never watched it, but
I don't even know what that is.
It's a massive show. Heaps of people watch it.
All right.
It's like an old.
There's too many fucking shows.
There's heaps.
Jesus.
And yeah, Disney just has so much IP. They'll always win.
Yeah. Well, that's where you get to when you just keep investing into exactly what you want to do, and you have somebody you have a crew of people that are aligned with what you want to do. Like Walt Disney, apart from shitting on, getting girls to shit on glass tables and him looking underneath, he was a good dude.
He fucking did what?
Didn't you hear about that?
I never heard of this shit.
Yeah, Walt Disney apparently used to pay prostitutes to shit on glass, like stand on glass tables and shit, and he'd lay under the glass table. That's a real fact.
That's so weird. He'd lay under the glass and watch it
hit, yeah.
That's crazy.
And I think that obsession of like glass... Oh, we had a glitch.
Come to think about it, I actually know nothing about Walt Disney the man.
Really?
Nah, I was just thinking about it. Like, I know what he looks like. I think he looks like Nikola Tesla did. In my head, that's what I'm imagining.
Well, all those guys back in the day, they all kind of blend into the same dude.
Yeah.
And it all kind of looks like Nikola Tesla fucked Albert Einstein, fucked Walt Disney, fucked George Washington.
Yeah.
And fucked George Washington.
Well, George Washington looked different.
Yeah.
Well, that style, at least.
Yeah, dude had fucking teeth that were pulled from his slaves. Did you know that shit?
He had fucking what?
He had a denture mouthpiece. Like, you know how they used to say he had wooden teeth?
No.
Okay, well, that was the fable, that he had wooden teeth, like teeth that were made out of wood. But he had teeth that were, like, fixated into wood, and then the wood panel would sit inside of his mouth.
Like an early version of a denture.
Like an early version of a denture, but it would bulge out so much that he'd have a round face. He'd look chubby.
Yeah.
But I think because everybody was so thin back then, because nobody really had, well, they didn't have agriculture and monocrop agriculture and all that shit. Oh, damn! Now you made me hungry.
My bad.
God, I'm probably gonna get some now, motherfucker. He had this fucking wide mouth, and his teeth
We're all from
slaves.
Like his slaves?
His slaves.
Jeez. Sick, bro.
Sick fucks, bro.
Sick, crazy.
And like, there was so much shit like that. I don't even know how I got to George Washington. Oh no, yeah. There was so many people like that have that same common face where you're just like, that guy looks like that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But Walt Disney had a weird look about him. He was almost like he looked Italian. He looked like an Italian-born fucking New York guy, and he was in like fucking. Just imagine a fucking suit without the jacket, and he's got fucking suspenders.
The suspenders, yeah. That's what I was imagining.
Yeah. And just like the look of a dude that likes to watch shit hit glass or.
That's a weird kink, or was it?
Well, he came up with.
Was it sexual?
Yeah.
Or was it like?
Well, fucking. Unless he's a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer, you'd hope it would.
It could have been like akin to watching a horror movie. Like
he came up with the multiple panel landscape traversion, which is like he had like a series of glass panels that were like on this machine, and they spread apart. So like you'd have 3 glass panels, like 1, 2, 3, right? The bottom one would have your back landscape. The middle one would have your like center field stuff.
Oh, okay,
so like hills and stuff.
I know what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You've seen that before?
I've seen
the machine?
Yeah.
And he was the dude that came up with that. So he probably had an affinity for glass panels.
Yeah, holy shit. It wasn't the shit, it was more the glass panels it was into.
It was like, that glass is so beautiful.
Yeah, cool.
The shimmer. Well, that's the weird thing. Of like, we'll fucking wrap this shit up in a second, but...
Yeah. We should have finished this Walt Disney shit thing first.
Yeah, we've got to go into this. Humans have this weird thing where we're attracted to shiny objects, right?
Yeah, so do magpies. But yeah, we do.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like in all human nature. Well, no, in all nature.
Yeah.
Right? And I
shiny things, yeah. Everything's drawn to them, more or less.
Yeah. And this is I had this crazy thought, and it's crazy. But if aliens were going to come here, right, it's attractive. Because nature, you think about nature, you think about like trees and fields and like animals and like a deer galloping and shit. But stars and the universe and the galaxy, that's all nature.
Yeah.
Right? And if we have any kind of like same molecular fucking pull, stars attract shit, right? They pull in energy, they pull in like energy and fuse ion, like, I can't remember what it is, transfusion or some shit. Where that's how a star will create brightness. It constantly just implodes on itself and sucks everything in. They're shiny. If you're an alien that's 1 million years old, like the race of an alien that's 1 million years old, you're now aware, don't go near the stars. You can use them as energy, but don't
Shiny things suck.
Shiny things suck, so what do? You look for something that's less shiny.
Yeah.
Right? What's less shiny than a star?
Everything.
Yeah, but what's the next less shiny thing?
It'd be probably gas planets or something, or asteroids.
I think it would be liquid planets.
Oh yeah, liquid planets, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because they reflect.
Oh, okay, yeah, definitely.
So if you send like a beam of light and you get a reflection, you're like, that's sustainable. And like, if you're fucking 1 million years, like I said before, you probably have some sort of device that tells you what compounds are in that fucking fluid from millions of fucking light years away. So if I was an alien and I was traversing through interstellar and I come across a planet that has already got life forms on it, I would go down there and I would go pew and shoot my ray gun of consciousness, which gives things self-perspective. Shoot one of those apes. Hope that ape fucks another ape and that creates us.
Mm-hmm.
If that is the same thing, if shiny shit attracts other shit, that's probably what attracted Jeffrey Dahmer, is the blood, the shine to the blood. That's probably what attracts people to wanting to become movie stars, is to have all the lights on you. We're mosquitoes.
Literally attracted to life.
We're literally attracted to the things that are shiny in this world. And here today on this fucking podcast, my brother, I'm glad I could shed some light on you. Get some fucking shit attracted.
Thank you, my brother. That was fucking some sweet segue right there, my boy. Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers for having me, man. Great talk.
Thanks for coming on, brother. What's your handle on Instagram?
On Instagram and all social platforms. You can find me at K the Sovereign. Stay tuned. Long live the way we live out October 28th.
October 28th, you got a date?
October 28th, yeah, got a date. It's out there. Track list coming soon.
Fuck yes, brother. So, have a great night. Thank you for coming down, Kay.
All good, man. All good.
Take care. Bye.
Take me home, I wanna know if you're down, ready to go. Wanna fly away with you, float